Welcome back for another episode of the Clashing Conferences podcast, basketball edition. We're back with the boys, and just a quick housekeeping. We'll say the current standings for the internal competition, and then we'll get right into mostly Mac voting, but we'll see what else comes up. But we have Topher, Matt, and Tony all tied at 9, and Mike with 4.
Okay,
one
4.
more game to go, and I think we kind of know who has this locked up, but we'll just have to see if there's a miracle or a curveball coming. So,
yeah, I lucked out taking Boston with the sweep, but I'm sure Matt's going to talk about it. But I mean, I don't know. Pacers kind of ran out of gas, I feel like, and Celtics are in the chip. The inevitable is here. I was thinking about before you start, maybe something to think about is I was thinking about a couple of weeks ago how you talked about how you were worried about not really being challenged going into the finals and then playing a tough team in the finals. I don't know. Would you consider I mean, it seems like it was a tough sweep at least. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Oh, dude, that was a gruesome sweep. No, the situational stuff was great. I'm glad that they were tested in that way because somebody said to me, and it made a lot of sense. They said Indiana did what Boston used to do, at least, or what we would see them do in crunch time. So while again, there's a part of me that's like, also that was their backups and scrubs. So there's that component, that is still
they're deep though, man. That team
Indy.
Yeah, they got a good bench, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, but who was one of the guys that I said was going to be the key to the series one way or the other? TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
And his numbers were off the charts, and he was getting flipped and body slammed and kicked in the face. No, Pritchard got kicked in the face. We'll come back to that. But McConnell, man, was balling out, and it's just one of those things where it's
pretty
like,
much the whole playoffs, man.
Right. And so here's where, again, because, again, the job's not done. Great.
Looks like a
down, 4 to go. However, if TJ McConnell is going to light you up like a Christmas tree, what are we going to do about Luca and Kyrie? Because that is the strength of the Mavericks. They're point guards. So great job by these guys. Gutsy wins, big shots, good timeouts, everything that I've been yelling at the TV for years wanting to see. I feel like I finally got that in games 1, 3, and 4. So that was huge. But with that said, it was a lot of their backups. And so we should be beating these guys. We should be beating the brakes off them. So
yeah, Halliburton didn't play what? He missed 2 games. Yeah, the last 2.
Yep. And another thing that I've noticed about this team that was, and again, this is probably just me being a white glove Celtics fan, but I can't help but notice that the Celtics are always giving up baskets at the end of quarters.
Yeah.
And it's like last night's game, they gave one up at the end of the first quarter, the end of the second quarter, third quarter, but it didn't count. Fourth quarter, they won. You know what I mean? So it's just like one of those things where I guess I'm looking at, as a team, I'm looking at us like we're the Death Star, but I'm trying to find that 3-meter hole so we can patch that thing up and make sure that we're good to go for the next round. So go Celtics. I'm glad we're in the finals. Thank God. I mean, again, we are expected to be here, so it's good. And Dallas is a weird team. This was not what I expected, not even a little bit. So going into and with the Kyrie element, we'll come back to that because I want to hear from you guys. But add that element in, and it's like, oh, the stakes, they got higher when I didn't think they could.
Dude, they're playing lights out. They look good.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just the whole little exchanges during the game, during the press conference. What was Lucas said something about being exhausted, and Kyrie was like, "Yeah, that's how it's supposed to feel." Like he's learning stuff, even at the level that he's playing. He's learning from Kyrie. I liked Anthony Edwards. I like his story better. I like the Kyrie and Lucas story better.
Tell me, I want to hear you guys though, what your observations of the Celtics this series, because again, obviously we're getting down to the last 2 teams, but I'm curious if what I see and think is something that you also see and think.
You hit on everything already that I thought. Your thoughts pretty much mirrored mine. I mean, I worry a little bit that they've had some a bit of a cakewalk through the playoffs so far as playing against injured teams and teams that were really missing the kind of star and firepower that you normally match up against in the playoffs. And they're going to play against some one way or another. They're going to be playing against some firepower and against the West, regardless of which one of these two teams wins. And it's going to be a whole different ball game from what they've had in their past 12 wins.
Yep.
So, I mean, and what the heck was this go? I don't know if it was game 1 or game 2 that Jaylen Brown hit that 3-pointer at the end of the game. What the heck was Siakam doing on defense, running up to the guy with his hands behind his back like this? Like, I mean, like, you can't, like, what you go like this, like, try to, like,
right.
I mean, like, do something, dude. Like,
That was
what
game
the heck
1.
was
Wasn't
that?
Game 1? Wasn't that game 1?
Yeah.
That was game
Yeah.
1, yeah. Because
But Indy, again, they screwed up 6 ways from Sunday. They couldn't inbound the ball. They didn't foul when they could have or should have. They didn't get a good shot off at the end of regulation. Like those were those mistakes that I had become accustomed to seeing us do. Play great the whole game, last second just a little bit, and so it was fun watching somebody else do it. But again,
Indy should have never had those situations, though.
Correct.
You guys should have been blowing the doors off them, like exactly like you said. You're playing their backups. You would expect to win by more. They didn't cover the spread in 3 of the 4 games. Indy covered the spread in 3 or 4 of them. I mean, they were playing very good tight ball throughout that series.
that's the weird thing about Boston. That's why I thought they would just like give one away. I thought they would give one away because you convinced me of that, Matt. I don't understand it. Like, I thought you would cakewalk them too. I thought you would beat them by 15, 20, almost night after night after night. I thought they would get you one time in Indiana. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, obviously, you're going. Looks like you're going to be playing Dallas. I mean, even if Minnesota wins tonight, it looks like you're going to be playing Dallas, and them boys are on fire right now, man. So yeah, you're going to get tested in that series for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think two guys that I was looking at the series that you got to give credit to. He has one of the biggest steals in Milwaukee Bucks history. Drew Holiday's the man. Like, always comes up.
That was awesome.
Like, he's a game hawk at the end of the game. And Al Horford was lights out in the series. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
You called that.
Horford
You said it.
God.
It's crazy
I
that
hate
Al
Horford. After that failed Sixers stint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had a couple years of a failed stint.
We're losing Tony P there. Am I the only one that heard that?
No, we're losing him.
I think we saw it in everybody's face.
Go sit in your car.
Yeah, he's been nothing but solid as a Celtic. Like, pretty much the entire time he's been there.
It's been night and day.
And he don't age. He just looks exactly
like a
the same.
Superman cape when he puts on that Celtic jersey.
Every year,
Tony.
Every year you expect him to fall off. He brings the same dynamic every game.
I can remember I was at a
every year
playoff Celtics Hawks game. This was years ago. And I remember saying to my buddy, man, imagine if we had a player like Al Horford on our team. He went, I know. He's just such a well-rounded player. And again, seeing him, he is now third all time for most playoff games without a championship. And number 1 and 2 are Malone and Stockton. So he has that, like, if he wins, you guys know with your teams, if your team has won a championship or not, you know that if your team right now, whoever's on that team, wins a championship, 30 years from now, they're cemented. No matter what, they won't have to buy a drink, whatever city they're in. They'll always be known as a champion. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just want to bring him into the club. I want him to be able to get that. So I really hope they can win for him.
It's like putting him in the ring of honor. I mean, like a team's ring of honor. Yeah. Yep. I know what you mean. Oh, he deserves it.
I don't know, am I?
Yeah, we had 2 of you there for a second, but yeah, you sound good.
I don't know.
Man, you imagine 2 Tonys? Whew.
Can you imagine an episode without me having technical problems? How about that?
That's true. That's true.
Well, you didn't have.
I think you need to call up the coat hanger and Dixie cup and string internet company and ask for an upgrade, because
Well, actually, has
gotta-
nothing to do with the NBA, but I guess that like free internet acts that they had during COVID like ended, so I'm gonna have to step up and pay for internet now.
I was gonna say you better supersize your McWi-Fi, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have to.
He's using the
COVID
same.
was, like,
He's
remotely
using
using
COVID
it.
Wi-Fi.
No, they made it was like I don't know, dirt
What's
cheap.
COVID
Tony still got an
Wi-Fi?
Obama phone.
What's
He still
COVID
got an
Wi-Fi?
Obama phone. Remember the phones they gave out?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't
Apparently
know.
no one remembers that.
I do.
No, I worked all through that stuff, man. So yeah.
All right, Tony, take two.
Okay, you talked about Al Horford, right?
Yeah, we were on Alpha.
Talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the other series. Let's talk about the Mavs Timberwolves. Mavs.
Oh, we didn't even get your Celtics take. You started talking about it, and then it went all mumbo jumbo.
Oh, Al Horford stepped up big. Yeah, it was crazy. Came off the bench, and I don't know, good. Like it sucks. Pacers ran out of gas. I don't know. I feel like it's been a foregone conclusion. I like Dallas though. I think Dallas is playing really good. I think this is going to be a good championship. So
You had the you had the highest hopes in them. You like Mike kind of did it because of the picks. You kind of believed. You believed in Dallas. What did you see? Did you see this coming?
I did. I believed in Dallas. I thought it was a 50-50 matchup. So I was like, I'm gonna go with Dallas, and like, there's a 50-50 shot they win. But I mean, just bet the Timberwolves. So who knows? Like like it sucks. I'm gonna win this internal competition. Dominate it, close it out before the championship even starts, and I'm broke. Like it's not fun. like maybe
you did.
maybe the Celtics could win and hit it over one time. Maybe the Celtics could cover one time. Like
Stop betting on my team.
Up.
We don't want you. You're out. You're out. You're out.
Help some of us out.
You're out. Go find somebody else to jinx.
You couldn't even. No. He couldn't even jinx. I told you they were going to beat them though, man. I picked them in 5. Boston. I didn't think Indiana had a shot either way, but I think they could have maybe pulled a game off of Halliburton. Didn't miss both games.
Well, I'm saying Tony picking Dallas, but I think did you pick him in the first round too?
I had the Clippers in the first round. But I picked them in the second round. I had them against OKC.
Dude, the last 2 rounds, I'm like, Tony is out of his mind. And then I'm like, okay, well, he saw something I didn't.
Well, I mean, Luke is, I think, the best player on the court. I think Anthony Edwards he's running out of gas, I think.
I was going to say that, like, we were all excited about Anthony Edwards. He was dominating all this and that. Brunson-like, you know what I mean? Brunson-like and everything. But then, like, now it's all about Luca. Like, it seemed like, I had to get a little Brunson in on it. But Luca's killing it.
It's funny. I mean, you got your answer of you always ask why the star player doesn't cover the star player, and Anthony Edwards called out Kyrie going to cover the star player, and by the end of the first game, like they were saying, like I think Jeff Van Gundy said it like 10 times, like he's gassed, like he's has nothing left in the tank. So I don't know, it kind of sucks. Like I feel like the conference finals kind of were a little bit of a letdown. Even though the Boston games were good, like, I don't know. Wish there was a little bit of a fight, some fight in the teams,
Yeah. They've all been close, most of them.
What was up with those? What was up with those shoes Kyrie was wearing with the little leather tassels and everything? You guys didn't see his shoes?
I think he has Native American heritage or ancestry of some kind. Am I wrong? Has anybody? No. Has anybody heard that? Because I feel like when he was in Boston, like you know what I mean. When we liked him and he was here, it was a lot of research and info on him.
So you did see him, Matt? You're the only one who's seen him?
Yeah, they were brown and they had like tassels.
Yeah, they look like the leather, like the suede or whatever.
Like something Cam Newton would wear.
Is he the one that signed with that weird like Chinese basketball shoe company?
I think.
I feel like we're throwing out a lot of Kyrie allegations. We definitely got to do our homework on Kyrie.
All right, but let's hold on.
Okay, there's way worse allegations on Kyrie than what shoes he's wearing, man.
Hold on. I got time for this. Let's talk about Kyrie when he was in Boston, because again, that's something that you guys probably didn't experience firsthand with us. But like, dude, this guy was a basket case the entire time he was here. Now he got traded here. I get it. And he got traded for IT. I get it. But he came here to a loaded championship ready to win squad. So you can't cry about that. You want to win? Best team you could go to was us at that time. And then he comes here, and then he does this sit down with Scal, and he tells everybody, you know, if you guys plan on having me, I'm going to resign here next year. And everybody was like, yeah, woo! And then over the next year, it was literally like somebody breaking up with you without saying, I want to break up with you. And everything that he did was so ridiculous. And then we got smoked by the Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks
you guys
beat us
ran into
4-1.
Wagon that year. It happened.
Yeah,
you know?
waxed us. And then he leaves in free agency. And then he comes back and he's stomping on Lucky and he's saging the place and he's flipping people and we're throwing drinks at him and we're saying horrible stuff. Dude, and then it's starting to get real ugly. So I'll be honest, the one thing that kind of worries me is like win or lose, I feel like this is going to be not good for Boston in a reputation sense because Kyrie knows how to stoke those flames, and we hate him. I'm not going to say me.
What?
I don't care, but
I'm interested in like have they been talking about it on like the sports radio yet? Like
oh my God, are you kidding me?
Like going in.
Yeah, Felger and Maz are like, because again, those are the guys. They're top radio guys in the afternoon here.
Yeah.
Like last year with the Bruins, you know what I mean? When the Bruins were record setting, they were in the middle of the season. They were like, imagine if they go to the first round and lose. And they're like, oh, don't laugh. They've done it. They go, I know, that's why I'm saying it. And then they go to the first round and lose. So they're already like, imagine if you lose to Kyrie. Oh my God. It's like, oh, you don't even want to think about it. But they're stoking the flames too, because it's the radio.
So when he left, I was kind of cool you brought that up because I didn't even think about that. But when he left Boston the first time, where did he go? That isn't when he
Brooklyn. He went to Brooklyn.
Is that when he went to Brooklyn? So that's when all that stuff was going on, and then
him and KD had the famous meeting at the All-Star game in the locker room.
Yeah, 2 max slots. In the hallway.
Yeah, but then the COVID situation hit. Remember, he wasn't playing. He didn't play games.
Well, they ran into Wagon too. They ran into Wagon that year.
Well, yeah, and then don't forget there was, I think, back-to-back years where the Celtics, Brown got hurt. We were a 7 seed. Brown got hurt right before the playoffs. We played Brooklyn. Tatum had a 50-point game in one game, but they beat us, and they beat us in the first round. It was like, golly, stupid Brooklyn. Then we played them the next year, and we swept them because Tatum hit that like Easter or one-game first-round layup at the buzzer. Yeah. We beat them, and then Kyrie lost his ever-loving mind in that series. It started flipping fans off, pretending to scratch his back and stomping on Lucky. And it was, dude, you want to piss some people off? He was pissing some people off. And I can see that and go, oh, he's a jerk. But I'm not going to like try to fight somebody or say a racial slur or be ignorant over it. But man, some people from here really took to that. And then it's like, oh no, don't go over the line because then we're all going to look like idiots. So I'm worried that's going to happen on.
So you think something's going to happen?
Scale.
You think by like, because
if we're winning, we're going to talk cash trash, and if we're losing, I don't even want to know what's going to come out of their mouths. So it's going to be ignorant.
Well, I feel like Tatum and Brown they were really tight with Kyrie. I feel like when he was there, even though it kind of went bad, I feel like
I sent you guys the picture, by the way. Sorry, Tony. The shoes.
Mm-hmm. But it's the crazy thing about Kyrie is like it's crazy to think how long he's been in the NBA now, where this is like his third stretch, and it's like the intervals in between were like 5-year stretches in between. If he wins, this will be his third one, right?
No, he's only got the one with Cleveland.
Yeah.
He went Cleveland, then Boston, then Brooklyn, and now Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll be his number 2, but that was a big shot in that Cleveland championship, though. Probably one of the biggest shots I've ever seen.
Oh, hands down. This is This is all legacies are on the line here.
Yeah,
legacies.
Him and LeBron should have stayed together.
Mm-hmm. And
just a quick note: we have the new feature that we're trying out with the audience. We actually confirmation that we have an audience member in the lobby, so it might be a
Oh
new
yes,
feature coming
somebody's
up.
watching.
But
Yeah,
we have Anthony Douglas he's in the chat,
solid
so
name.
I just wanted to let him know if he had anything he wanted to. If he hears you guys say something wrong and he wants to talk some smack, I'll relay it for him. So
Well,
What's going on,
fortunately, the Knicks
man?
are dead, and it's quiet on that front.
Yeah, it's we're gonna see. I mean, hey, we're here to talk about basketball. Tony kind of halfway predicted this a while ago, and yeah, the Kyrie Celtics storyline is going to be very real, possibly very soon. So, I would have liked the KG Wolves Celtics one because that would have just been like, hey man, harmony and all that, and instead this is going to be a rock fight. So get ready.
Yeah.
Gonna be a
And
good one.
Porzingis, what's Porzingis' deal?
I haven't heard anything, but I mean, I think with all this extended time, I think he
Yeah.
should be ready to rock. That'll be huge because
Mhm.
they love to run pick and rolls and run a lot of alley oops and stuff at the hoop. So
Mhm. I don't know if he got injured at the end of the game. I don't know how significant the injury was, but I think it's Blake Lively or something Lively, the center for Dallas. Dude, he is a monster
That's
at gobbling up rebounds.
Blake Lively's what's her name? Ryan Reynolds' wife.
yeah, I don't think he means her.
Something Lively.
I think Derek maybe.
Derek Lively. We definitely got to do some research on this Mavericks roster before the championship.
So Anthony from the audience asked, "What do you guys think will happen to Kyrie if they can't win this year?"
I mean, I think you got to re-sign him if you're Dallas. I mean,
he's already under contract. I think.
I would
I think
want
he
to
signed
draft
like
Yeah,
him if
4
you're
years.
Dallas.
Did he? Yeah, I have no idea.
I
Yeah,
think
I
you're
think
right, Matt.
Yeah, I think he's under contract for a while. I mean, he's playing with that team and they're playing with house money. I mean, who expected
Yeah.
Dallas to make it to the
Tony
finals?
P.
So I mean,
Tony P
besides
did.
Tony,
Besides Tony P,
yep.
I
Give him
wear
That
a lot of
team,
hats.
that team really, really gelled after the trade deadline when they made a couple of what seemed like minor moves at the time. But these guys have all been rotation players for them and getting minutes and playing very well. And they just seem to gel as a team right now.
Yep. And I think we can all agree that if you get rid of Grant Williams, then you're guaranteed to go to the finals. So
It's crazy. I'm usually not a big like NBA coach guy, like having significant impact, but Jason Kidd's coaching his tail off too, and it's crazy. He was the Bucks coach for a year, and they kind of just let him go, and really nothing came out of it. But I think every series, well, obviously not this series, but like the first two series, they lost game one, and then they came back and won game two and won both series. So. Yeah, it's crazy. Jason Kidd's coaching the Dallas has a lot of good pieces to the team that I wish the Bucks had.
yeah,
But
Gafford's the guy that again PJ
yeah.
Washington, but Gafford
Uh,
is like he plays kind of like KG, and that's where I was watching. Again, I'm asking myself like, why am I watching these games? And it's like because you're kind of scouting and what are you looking at, or what do you what what do they do so well? And then you're like, oh, they got a big giant 7-footer that loves to dunk and just punch his chest. Yeah, that'll
yeah.
do it. That helps.
Dude, him and Al Horford are gonna be banging it up in the post.
That's where Porzingis would be big because again, Gafford's just skinny and strong and lean, but so's Kristaps and he's tall, so I feel
Yeah.
like he could help prevent the alley oop.
Yeah.
So we'll see, dude. That's my hope. That's my hope. Look at that. Luca doesn't play defense. Period. So my hope is that okay, if they both are offensive firepower juggernauts, which team's going to play more defense? So I'm hoping that Dallas and Luca not doing that. I hope that is because when we turn it on, man, we really can play defense, but you can see where we put it on cruise control, and that's when teams get hot on us, and then we go, okay, enough. So
If you're so Luca, you're gonna put what, Drew Holiday on Luca or Kyrie? Who do you think you put Drew Holiday?
I don't know. I mean, it's either Drew or Derek, or Derek, maybe Jalen to mix it up because those guys can cover some. Whatever works. I mean, that's the thing is that man, when we have everybody and they're
You're the
locked in.
coach. I'm asking. You're the coach. Who you put on who? What's your game on?
Oh, just me, myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm putting. I'm putting Drew on Luca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting White on Kyrie, and if it's not White, then I'm gonna have Brown covering him.
What about what do you think about Brown?
Plenty of options.
Like Gas covering Kyrie though.
Yeah, but it like kind of like what you said earlier. It's a 50-50. It can go both ways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I just feel like at least looking at like Brown and Tatum, you know what I mean? Look at them from their rookie year to now. But like these guys are in their prime condition. Like they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hoping that it's like, yeah, well, Kyrie's in his 30s, Jalen's in his 20s, yeah, chase me around. We'll see. Who knows?
So all this time where Matt's in the finals and he's still really not talking a lot of shit. So
no, it's not over till it's over. Listen, I'll say this. I talked trash in 2010, and it was when we went up 3-2 against the Lakers, and I forgot it, but my cousin told me that he goes, you looked at me and said, ready to go to a parade? And then we didn't have a parade, and we haven't had one since 2008. So I'm going to shut my mouth, and I'll do my
experience with some regrets.
Listen, if we win a championship, Steve, he better have the edit, mute, beat button, the whole shebang. That's going to be the Too Hot for TV episode.
Yeah, but you imagine how much fun it would be to talk all that smack and then win that damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime,
you guys better tune into the NFL edition because it's going to get hot.
Why? Because you're going to talk about the Giants
boys.
winning a Super Bowl? I friggin' hope not.
There's the dumb shit to go to the break. That's perfect timing,
perfect.
Mike.
I'm just saying, man. Yep. We're just going to talk some smack and hope and roll the dice.
All right. Well, we're going to hit our break, come back. No wheel, but we'll do some Matt libs, and I'm sure there'll be some more smack talking, and hopefully we don't have to hear about the Giants or Daniel Jones or Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, it's a little early yet.
Remember to like and subscribe. Look in the down there, all that stuff. The website. See us on Instagram, and tell your friends. We'll be back.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back. Second half. Clashing Conferences podcast. Just a quick update after, we don't want to, get too far ahead of ourselves and call this over, but when the basketball podcast comes to a close, there's going to be baseball content following right behind it.
New group.
Yep.
Brewers, first place, baby. It's baseball season.
Oh, man, I want to talk baseball trash, but I'm going to leave it alone for now.
Why? There's
going to be a whole podcast just for it.
Yeah.
If you're not on it,
I would love to talk trash on the baseball podcast, but there aren't even. Well, never mind. Let's move on.
Just talk about off air. I was asking, but I might as well get on air. So again, is there a chance of getting everybody together this summer in some capacity?
You just heard what Mike said. No.
That I believe could happen. We made it happen for the football crew. We all got together. We had everybody there the second time in March.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Philly would be a good rendezvous spot. I mean, most of you were there, right?
I get there often enough, and it's very easy.
There, yeah.
Tony P.
I was going to say, you want me to go into Philly?
You guys
that whole mission comes down to you two. If you two can be there, the rest of us are easy.
Tony P, how many points do you have right now?
12. Oh, you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant in the competition in our competition that we had.
No.
I think I got
license.
I don't know, 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5? I got 4 or 5
That's
tonight.
such a
Hey,
good insight.
you're
You were driving us
allowed
around
8,
Chicago.
Topher. You're allowed 8. All right.
8. Okay, so all right. So you got breathing room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen,
Don, you
Because he
you guys,
didn't get pulled over in
you
Chicago.
guys want to do a trip in the Poconos? I'll do a trip in the Poconos. Like we can all meet up in Pennsylvania. No.
are you Fat Mac?
Well, I hope I'm not.
I like
You
the
ever meet
Poconos.
I feel like I'm looking pretty buff right now. I don't know about that. Maybe a buff man. Maybe that. Maybe a beefcake man.
So we have that to look forward to. All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll figure it out.
All right. We'll figure
It's on
something out.
camera.
So yeah, has to happen.
Yeah, you can't get out of it now.
It's in Pennsylvania. It's really hard for at least half of us to not make it.
True.
So
Don't forget that
you
bathtub.
want to get on
Let's go.
with some Mat Libs? I think.
Magic.
Is it that time?
I think so.
It's that time.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. That's gonna come back and haunt somebody. No, they're quick. They're quick. Easy one goes bye. All right. This week's is going to be a little different, but a little more simplified. So I have 4 questions. I will start with each person, but everybody gets to answer each question.
Okay.
So we'll do like a round robin.
Yeah, buddy.
Right.
All right. So let's see. All right. Actually, Tony P. So you are, originally from the Midwest, but you've had the distinct privilege of living in both Massachusetts and New York.
Mm-hmm.
So as a third party, so to speak, who has the more obnoxious fan bases? Boston teams or New York?
Boston, easily Boston. So the thing about Boston teams, and I mean Matt will be able to test the most because he works at an elementary school and he sees all these kids that are growing up in Boston. They're all jaded. They've all seen them win championships. None of them have ever had bad teams. They're all the Patriot, the Patriot snobs. They think they're better than everybody.
Well,
they ain't have to earn their stripes, right? In football, it was easy.
Well, they're coming back down to reality with a couple of these teams. So,
yeah, what's that like? After all those years and all that dominant, like being that dominant, what's it like?
They're about to win another championship. What are you talking about?
No. I'm talking about. I know this is a basketball pod, but I want to know what that's like with New England, with the Patriots sucking.
Well, I'm not. I'll be the first to tell you that I am not a Patriots fan, and I haven't been since Drew Bledsoe. He's the reason why. I also need to add that now Drew Bledsoe is like super cool and like funny, so now he's making me like him after hating him for 30 years. But I hated the Patriots, and then they started winning championships, which just only made it worse. And then the way they would win or lose, they were just so dramatic. It was crazy. But now, once Brady left and watching him win a championship on the outside, it was fantastic because then that was the first dose of medicine. And then ever since, these guys have been off their rocker. They're like, yeah, Mac Jones, he's as good as Brady when he's throwing on third down. Yeah, no, he's not, dude. They are terrible. And so they're having a rough go of it right now for the Patriots, for sure. Red Sox, dude, the Red Sox, their ownership, they stopped caring because now they own, part of the Penguins and other franchises. They've stopped putting money into the Red Sox, which was a big part of why we won so many championships. We spent money and got big name free agents and players.
Yep.
They're not doing that now. They let our guys walk, Mookie Betts, and I'm trying to think.
That's pretty much when I kind of like, after all the years of watching them, that's who I rooted for years, and then I pretty much did me in losing Mookie Betts. That one hurt.
Yep.
The thing about I just want to say the thing about New York fans though are I feel like there's so many teams and people have so many different combinations of teams. Like they get separated by teams. Like the Yankee fans are obnoxious Yankee fans, but like they might not be Giants fans or Jets
Oh
fans.
man,
Like
there's
Giants
tons of
fans
fighting.
are just like unrealistic, like have expectations, even though your team's gonna let you down every year, and your quarterback's just gonna throw for under 200 yards every game, and they just think they have the best team, but fortunately they're bottom dwellers every year.
I would say New York. It's not even a conversation for me, but probably because of Chris.
I was gonna say I kind of like New York fans, so yeah, I don't have no problem with that question. But yeah, Mike, you know what I'm saying. Like you being a Mets fan, you don't like the Yankees. Me being a Giants fan, I don't like the Jets. Like I like the Bills. Mike will tell you that I somewhat like the Bills. I like Josh Allen. Like I have nothing against the Bills, but I hate the Jets.
You can say it. You got a man crush on Josh Allen.
I just think he's the best quarterback in the
Cute.
league. I
You
like
think
him.
he's cute?
He's dreamy.
Never
You think
said that.
Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the
I love
NFL?
Josh Allen. And we only want to start
That's
this
crazy.
because then I'm going to call Randy out because he honestly said that Kirk Cousins was hot. So
What did
Oh,
Randy do?
look at he's getting all
Yeah.
defensive.
yeah, I
What
am.
Randy?
Yeah, because he tried to
He's
pull
like,
that
well,
shit.
Randy said somebody else was hot.
Yeah, they try to say, hey Matt, they try to tell me I had Josh Allen kidnapped and in my closet, and this dude was saying, man, Kirk Cousins is kind of pretty. He's pretty hot with his shirt off and them chains on. Yeah. I was like, man,
He said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. Then
I was like, don't ever call me out again.
Mike Jones.
What was the original? Was it any team?
It just in general, New York versus Boston.
Oh, New York versus Boston? I don't know. I mean, I'm a Mets fan, so I'm not going to pick New York. I'll go with Boston.
Yeah.
I would like to choose Philly, though.
Makes sense. Yeah, I know. That's why I kept it very specific.
Yeah.
One other question while we're on this topic, and it's: do you think the Celtics fans are going to be in the series with Kyrie? Do you think maybe they tend to toe that line a little bit, cross that line? Do you think maybe they would in the series, or
100%. Tony, have you met people from Boston when they get around you?
That's what I'm saying.
It gets wild.
Yeah, you're gonna see Boston.
You put on, what is it, Dropkick Murphys or that, dude, Dirty Water or something like that. People are going to start like Chappelle Show. They're going to start jumping through furniture, punching each other. It's going to be wild. Yeah. Yikes on bikes. Here we go. Topher, it's 1990. It's Saturday morning. What cereal is in your bowl?
Oh, man. Woo. Fruity Pebbles. Love me some Fruity Pebbles.
Good choice.
Watching the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
So in
Can't beat that.
Am I 1 or 34 in 1990?
Split the difference. You're
very
17.
important.
Go.
I mean, definitely Cinnamon French Toast Crunch. Always top cereal in the game. Definitely.
Cookie Crisp.
Ooh.
I'm going Cinnamon Toast Crunch too.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Damn, tell you his hype about
Chris.
Matt's the only person I know he likes to mix his cereals together, so he's the combo guy. Cinnamon French Toast Crunch and like Frosted Flakes together.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to take your cereal game to the next level, go ahead and combine two that you think might work, and then tell me how you feel.
I got two that work. Reese's peanut butter puffs and Cocoa Puffs.
Ooh, see, there you go. Now you're cooking.
And sometimes.
See, and now we're on my cooking show.
Yo, and then sometimes I even drizzle a little Hershey's chocolate syrup over top of that stuff too.
So much chocolate.
I know how to eat some cereal, man. Good question.
Dave, have you ever been, it doesn't matter the sport, have you ever been to a championship parade? And if so, what, who and when?
I have not. Nope. I wish I would have went in 2017, but I didn't go.
How come?
I had just flown back from Ohio the day of the parade, and then we flew into Harrisburg. It would have been a whole thing. I was hungover from the trip that I was coming back from. I didn't have it in me.
Party too hard. Tony P, did you go to the Bucks one?
I did not go to the Bucks when I was out in New York that time. Oh, I wish I would. I'm telling you, if I ever get to go to parade, I will. next one I will do whatever it takes to get to that parade.
You didn't go when Rogers won?
I was in the Navy. That was like so the year they won with Rogers, I was in the Navy, and that was probably like my first year in the Navy. And then when Favre won, I was 9. So, but I would love to go to parade. I'm jealous of the amount of parades you have in Boston all the time, man.
Mike Jones.
All right. Anybody else?
It's been decades since any one of my teams have had any type of a parade, so I definitely have not been to a parade.
If you could have went to, here's a good question for you, Mike. You're a bit what? Bears, Mets, and Hornets. So the Bears and the Mets, they won around the same year, right? And what?
Year apart, 85 and 86.
Okay, so if you could have went to one of those parades, which one would you have picked?
Bears. Bears all day. Yeah, oh yeah, it's not even close.
I mean, that Mets team was a fun team.
Yeah, but that Bears team was also a very fun team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Topher?
Yeah.
Mike Jones is going to kill me for this. Yeah, so as much as I'm a Giants fan, I didn't go to either one of those parades. And both times, like my nephew, my boy Jimmy, who I get tickets with, like they went. And I didn't go both times. Well, see, I have a reason, and I'm glad you asked Dave. My reason was I always took off for the Super Bowl. Like, I took off for the Super Bowl. There was no way, in any way, I was going to work the next day after the Super Bowl. So they always went to work the next day, and they always took off for the parade. That was my reason, but never went. Regret it every time.
So you couldn't handle your hangover from the
Super Bowl? It had nothing to do with that. It's
so
I just
couldn't go to parade.
I couldn't have went. Look, I love them so much. If they would have lost, I was no way.
He's about to cry again, guys.
I knew that was coming. No, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to work. I can go to work on a win just because.
It's my favorite joke.
I'm trying to stay up. Like if they win, I'm not going. We're up. We're hanging. We're up. We're staying up. We're having a good time. But if they lose, I'm just going to bed and I'm sleeping. Don't talk to me for like 2-3 days. That's the worst thing in the world. Losing the Super Bowl is the worst. There's nothing worse.
Do you remember? You got to remember this because you lived there for a year. We lived in Kinzers. Corey, when one of his teams would lose, you wouldn't see him for 24 hours.
No.
If the Raiders lost on Sunday or Michigan lost on a Saturday, that boy would go up to his room and just be like, he'd be gone. You didn't see him for at least a day or two.
You need time.
Dude, you need time. When we got our butts kicked by the Ravens, I was sick. Terry Collins just came off that like great game to get us to the championship.
Terry Collins, oh my God.
We were going
Mike
against
Jones.
Go ahead. Yeah, we gotta get off football. You guys, what's Mike always say? Once that train starts, boy, it ain't stopping.
All right, yeah. Mike Jones, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh, I'd fly. Just to be able to get places faster and easier and just make life easier.
Yeah.
I'd like to fly.
Fly would be cool.
No way, man.
Tony?
I'm trying to think. Pass on me. Let it go around the circle. Let me think. Because I want to say first off the top of my head, I want to say invisible. Like being able to just like go in and out being invisible, like Hollow Man stuff.
What a creeper.
That's why I'm thinking. That's why I wanted to hesitate. So let me think about it. I don't want to pick the creepy one.
All right. Think about it. Dave?
Teleportation, myself and others. So if I don't want to just go away. Or if I want to get somewhere, it's way faster than flying. So I think that's a good one.
Little Star Trek action.
Yeah, that's dope. I think flying is the easy one. There's so many. Like, could I, Mike? I can't ever make this easy. Can I be like Spider-Man? Can I have that?
You can do whatever you want. Yeah, man.
I'd want to be Spider-Man.
Good call.
I'd want
to climb on buildings.
I would want to love everything because you said fly. You didn't say have superpowers. I want everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm going Magneto. I'm just
I was thinking that.
Swish.
I was thinking that.
Done.
Hard question.
Power for good.
I would.
Yeah,
I gotta. I
absolutely.
would like to Incredible Hulk it up. I'd like to just be able to smash.
That suits
You are the
Just-
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Down 2-1,
Oh,
but it's
look what he
almost
did.
game time, and his shirt comes ripping off. Yeah. You already
Yeah.
are the Hulk.
I think that's it. I might have thrown a card early, but I feel like we're running late, Matt Libs. So the end
That's
of Matt Libs.
The end.
wrap on Matt Libs.
Question mark?
This is always
I
the
start
sad.
chucking cards. I don't know. There's cards everywhere, so I'm lost.
This
It's
is
like the whole season of cards all over your room.
I love it.
Yeah, I
You
usually
just let
don't
them
pick
go.
'em up. Yeah, just chuck them. Who cares?
Okay.
Get them later.
And after the pod's over for basketball, you'll come down the steps one day and you'll see the cards and you'll shed a tear. You'll be like, man.
I thought of saving them all, and then I'm like, what would I do with them? They're immortalized on YouTube. I'm good. They're there.
You should keep them.
Yeah, you mean-
So put them
Yeah,
in our Hall of Fame. They're the first ever year of Matt Libs. Gotta keep
True.
them. Gotta keep them.
You're a teacher. You use them for next year. Reuse them. That's what you do.
No way, man.
That's what teachers do.
I guarantee you if we did like Mad Libs and you like redid it a year later, I guarantee you would have like different answers for every. I guarantee you, it'd be different.
He's coming up with new questions. He's not going to.
Yeah, I got in trouble a couple times. I probably wouldn't have said that stuff.
Yeah, I've learned what to ask, what not to ask, who to ask, what, when. Yeah, I'm learned. But it'll be all. But again, think about it with the component of sports. There's always something to talk about that you can't predict.
Yep.
Or know is going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Do we want to touch on any last minute things, or are we prepared to go into come back next time? It's finals time, right?
Yeah. So I think next week we're gonna have a. What is it when on TV shows like they do a clip show episode, you know, when they just kind of
Slow news day.
Right, but instead we're gonna fill it with all kinds of different nonsense. So you wait.
Okay.
Emphasis on
Yeah, but
nonsense.
we'll also be able to pick who we think is going to win the finals. We'll get the spinner wheel again for the So we'll have a little
We're going to
bit
give Chris an extra 30 seconds on Daniel Jones next week. Tune
in.
That's if
I
you
don't know that we all agreed on that.
sprain his ankle.
Flash and bash.
Maybe that'd be fun.
I do. Oh wait, before we go, I do have to give a special shout out to two lovable teddy bears. One being Tony P, the other being Scotty Trago. Because again, just for Memorial Day and being veterans and all that, and just serving and knowing, everybody always comes from a family that everybody serves. So again, much appreciation to you guys, because Scotty's the reason why I'm here, and Tony serving, he went in right out of high school. So
well, I had to wait a year to get my braces off, but.
Thank you both, guys, for your service. Tony, I didn't realize you were in the service as well, but thank you both.
Yeah, man. I was amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty funny story. Tony actually knows somebody I used to work with. Me and Corey worked with at Benco. They actually how do you know you, Tony? How did Brandon know you?
We were on the ship together. We were on the ship, yeah.
He checked out
New York, baby.
He checked out a couple reels and saw a couple things on Instagram and was like, he texted me one day. He was like, I know Tony P. Pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, small world.
The odds.
So Brandon Mars, thank you too, since you served, and thank you, Tony. And thank you, Scott
man.
Drago.
You're doing good, man.
Appreciate you guys.
It's awesome.
Right.
Good shit. All right. Well, remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends. Check out
I did
our
subscribe,
website.
by the way. I know all you haters were hating. I subscribed too. I'm on there.
Good job. So if Tony can do it,
welcome, Tony P. Welcome to the show.
Anybody needs you to be walked through it. Hit me up. I'll help you. I'll help you out.
Yep.
You know.
Oh man.